Welcome to today's session on burnout with Tania Timkova. Tania, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you for
I cannot
having
wait
me.
to hear what we'll learn. I can't wait for the practical tips, on how to prevent burnout.
Yes, yes.
So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, today we will talk about practical tips. So, where I think I will review a little bit the uh, concept of burnout itself for those who haven't seen the previous one, haven't seen the recording. But we will actually practice. And yeah, I hope that if you will be watching it in recording, please. Just follow along, just try to practice as well, because only practice really makes difference. So yeah, today we will continue talking about burnout, and this way how to prevent it through rhythm and regulation. Let me see if my presentation is working. Yeah, so I'm not gonna stop here. I'm just briefly, yeah, I'm Tania. I'm a coach, and I work with the topics of burnout as well as other topics as well. So I coach entrepreneurs, creatives, leaders, founders to, in general, just to live a good, well lived, joyful life. And working with burnout, noticing burnout, preventing and regulating yourselves, right? Ourselves is a very, very big part of a happy, joyful life. And because burnout happens at work mostly, and we've spent so much time at work, so it's very, very, very important to be able to have tools to regulate ourselves and to be able to prevent it, because burnout is easier to prevent than to get out of it, let's say. So just before we get into practice, as I said, I will share some practical tools and tips that we can do on a daily basis to support ourselves. I want to briefly repeat the concepts of burnout, right? So burnout is a chronic prolonged stress. Burnout is different from exhaustion, because exhaustion is treated by a very good quality rest, while burnout is not. Burnout has to be addressed on different levels, right? So burnout is a chronic stress which is caused by insufficient recovery, reduced sense of agency or meaning, which is it's very important, right? When we, for a long time, we don't see any meaning in the work that we are doing, and burnout can come in different phases, different there are different elements of it, right? So it might feel like just an exhaustion, but then we adapt to it, right? This is the risk of burnout, because people adapt to it very fast, and then live months and months and sometimes years in the state of chronic stress, while the chemistry in the brain changes. While there are so many things happening in the body, and so many illnesses as well are being developed because of this prolonged stress. And then the last and the most dangerous phase of burnout is complete exhaustion that leads to ineffectiveness. This is something like where most people actually catch burnout, and our goal is to catch it at the very early stage, not to get to the stage of ineffectiveness. Early signs of burnout, very important to keep in mind. Just to know that this might be a sign of burnout. Of course, not only might be a sign of something else, but it's nice to keep it in mind that these signs, that these symptoms that I'm gonna list now can also be signs of burnout. So irritability, cynicism, right? When my work does not matter anymore, or I don't see why I'm doing this. Emotional numbness, right? Like inability to feel emotions, being very neutral to any emotion. Brain fog, sleep disruption, physical tension in the body, reduced empathy, right? When we don't care anymore, it's also like a side of cynicism. Loss of motivation, digestive problems. These are all early signs of burnout. So it's important to have body-mind connection, to have a very good contact with selves and with the body, and be able to read the bodily signals to address them accordingly, to the doctor, to the manager, whatever, in which situation you are. And I will teach you a few elements, a few practical tools that can help you to be able to have this connection with the body and to read it, right? But now I just want to repeat the theory a little bit. So these are the stages of burnout. As I said, our goal is to catch it at the very, very early stage, right? To catch it here, like at the very beginning, maybe alarm phase, or adaptation even, right? To understand, right? So, okay, now I'm adapting to stress and I'm normalizing stress. So I'm just taking it as a part of my daily life, which should not be like this, which is not normal, not okay. We are taught to think, right? Especially if we work in highly stressful environments, if we have highly stressful jobs, roles, the rhythm of the life is very, very fast. We are taught to think that adapting to chronic stress is normal, is okay, but it's not okay, right? It's not okay for our physical system, for our nervous system, so it's not okay for our bodies, for our minds. So I just want to really stress it out here. So if we are getting to the stage of ineffectiveness and exhaustion, it's already almost impossible to, let's say, to get to help ourselves with the simple tools that I will provide today. They will be very important as a recovery, but in the stage of ineffectiveness, it's almost impossible to heal from the burnout without medical treatment, without the therapy, without psychological support. And usually this is the point where we start having chronic illnesses, we start having different physical symptoms, so then we have to be treated by the doctor as well. So but let's not go there. Let's hope that we will be able to catch it and prevent it and avoid it, right? So yeah, if you notice yourself in if you notice any of the symptoms, right, that I described, just think about it. Which of these have you already normalized, right? What are you coping with, right? So like most people tell me, yeah, I have a sleep disruption. I don't sleep for months. And then, yeah, what do? I just drink a lot of coffee to keep myself awake, right? But this is not normal. So which means that it has to be addressed. It has to be targeted and worked on. Okay. Next one. Let's see. I'm also checking the chat. So, as I said, I was talking about chronic stress, prolonged stress, right? Which makes us think that stress is a very big problem. But stress is actually not a problem, right? So the problem is stress without a recovery. Stress, the healthy amount of stress is needed because of, I'm not going to go into neuroscience of it, because yeah, we know that it changes brain chemistry. We need stress to be able to reach our goals, to be able to act, we need this healthy amount of adrenaline and everything in our body. But as healthy amount of stress and chronic stress without recovery is difference, right? There is a big difference. So when we're thinking about healthy performance, right, healthy performance follows a rhythm. So there is an effort and there is recovery. There is effort and there is recovery, right? So we work and then we recover. We focus for a long time, then we recover. In highly stressful societies, environments, right, we usually skip the part sorry we skip the excuse me, we skip the recovery part. So what happens? Our daily life looks like effort, right? So I hope that I don't hope, but I think that most of you will agree with me, but I would hope that it's not like this. So what are the common mistakes, right? What are the common mistakes that we make when we talk about stress and recovery, about highly stressful environments and recovery? I already stopped there in the previous session, but I have to repeat it again. So the common mistakes is that we treat recovery as optional, right? We think, oh, I will only rest when I have time, or I will only rest when I deliver this project. I will only rest in 2 months when I have my holiday. This is the first and the most important mistake. Another mistake is treating burnout as laziness. So we think, oh my gosh, I'm just lazy. I need to push through. I need to push through. This is what most millennials, especially, right, have been taught. Just go for it. Just push through. Just do it. Another mistake is only rely on sleep on weekends. You think, okay, I'm gonna push through this week, and then the weekend comes, and I will finally have 2 nights of sleep. It doesn't work like this, right? So it's also a mind trick that we are trying to use as solution, but it does not really help. It will not help us prevent or avoid burnout. We use stimulation instead of regulation. What I mean here is that, instead of deep rest, instead of deeper recovery, like, for example, walk in nature, outside in the sunlight, without any phone, without music, without calling, without talking on the phone, right? Just being in nature. This could be a deep recovery. We would lay down on the couch and scroll social media. So, right, this is stimulation. Or we would go and watch 3 series in a row on Netflix, whatever. So this is stimulation. Our brain likes it because it gets this quick dopamine kick, but our nervous system does not recover from this. It gets even more stressed, it gets even more overwhelmed. So this is also important to keep in mind. Another mistake, as I said, we wait for exhaustion to press stop button, right? We're like, okay, I'm only gonna rest when I'm super tired. I need to feel I need to earn my rest, right? This is also like a common limiting belief that many people have. Like, I only rest when I don't know, when I get this job, or when I earn this amount of money, or when I can afford going on a week holiday, right? These are just the limiting beliefs that we work with, and we are tricking ourselves and making things even worse. Or another mistake is only, as I said, only work with physical symptoms. Yes, they are most physical symptoms are the most visual, they're the most visible, they're the most obvious, but there are a lot of underlying symptoms that we also have to take care of. I will talk about it a bit later. So these are the common mistakes when it comes to addressing burnout. And then we need to talk about something went wrong with my presentation. Sorry. We need to talk about recovery and what really works, right? I just said what really doesn't work. Now, what really works to recover? What really works to prevent burnout? What really works to create a healthy system? As we know, we have different types of energy. We have physical energy, we have cognitive energy, right? That helps us to focus, to think, whatever. We have emotional energy. We have purpose energies, like we call it soul energy, spiritual energy, right? Like, this is something not physical. This is something like the way I feel in the world as a person, right? Who am I? What am I doing it for? So burnout happens when we drain ourselves at each energy level. Does it land, right? So we are not only physically tired, we are also emotionally exhausted, we are also cognitively exhausted, we don't support our nervous system enough, and we don't feel the meaning, the importance of the work that we are doing, or in general our existence in this world. So this is when burnout happens, when we exhaust ourselves in all those levels, which means that to heal it, to avoid it, to prevent it, we need to address each of those types of energies simultaneously. So when I'm talking about self-support, about creating the system, the rhythm, we need to think about physical energy, right? How do I sleep? How do I eat? How do I move? Everything has to be present. When I'm talking about nervous system support, how do I support my nervous system? How do I regulate myself to be present, to be focused, to be clear, right? So here we come to breathing, to feeling safe in our bodies, to exhaling, inhaling. We will do it. We will do practical exercises in a lot of detail, but just now I want to stop in a theory. We need to treat the emotional side of energy. So we need to work with our boundaries, right? Because if we don't have healthy boundaries, we say yes to everything and we drain ourselves, right? Just a direct connection. We need to learn to process different emotions, because emotions that are stuck in our body create a lot of stress, unprocessed emotions, something that we haven't talked through, that we haven't processed with movement, for example, stays in our body, and it also drains us and eventually leads to burnout. But here, let's say we'll be talking mostly about the area of work, right? If we are saying that burnout most likely would happen in a work environment. So in this case, all the emotions that are caused by bad management, by stressful environment, by some difficulties with communication with the team, for example, or if we are entrepreneurs, it's very much about our self-esteem, about the results that we are getting, about the comments that we are getting, the feedback from the customers, whatever. It all drains our emotional energy. So we need to help ourselves to process it as well. And as I said, this soul energy, right? So something that makes us feel good, feel about who we are, and how do we show up in the life, how do we show up in the work. So the meaning, where do I see the meaning in my work, in the work I'm doing? Where can I find meaning in around my work, in life, whatever? This is also something that we have addressed when we are talking about burnout. So all that I have to say here is that it's not only treating physical symptoms, but also different types of energies that we have. Okay. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments at this stage? Or if I can ask you, for those of you who are live now, maybe even give me, like, write in the chat, or maybe take a mic and say, like, on the scale 1 to 10, how do you feel physically and emotionally? How do you feel today? And if you have noticed any stress, any tension in your body today, where is it in your body? So let's take it 30 seconds for you to maybe give me some feedback if you want. On the scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? And if you notice any tension in the body, where do you notice it? This will really help me to move forward. Don't be shy, don't be silent. Physically 8, mentally 5. Yeah. Yeah, this is already a small, as I said, today we're talking about practical tools. This is one of the easiest and the very effective tools that you can do to be able to recognize the signs of burnout, to support yourself, to support your nervous system, to do this very quick, very easy check-in every single day after you finish work or before going to bed. How do I feel today, right? On the scale of 1 to 10, physically, mentally, emotionally, right? You can really track each type of energy that you have. And where do I feel tension in the body? Which is also, like, really getting back to this question. At the very beginning, it might be difficult. If you have never noticed this, you have never observed the body mind connection, right? So it might be difficult at the beginning, so you might not really feel anything. But the more you ask the question, the more you think about it, the more you return to your body, you will learn eventually to find it, to find the answer. So this is the first practical tool that I am leaving you with, a simple check-in at the end of the day. How do I feel on the scale of 1 to 10, physically, mentally, emotionally? Okay. So, as I said, the solution is not to avoid stress. The solution is not to change the job, or leave a work market and go live in the desert. We live in a different world. So the solution is to create healthy rhythms, because any stress can be managed by healthy rhythms. It's kind of building a system around your life, around your daily life, and around your working life that will support you on a day-to-day basis. As I say, remember, right? We're not supporting ourselves by taking a weekend once in a month or going on a holiday once a year. This will be very good, right? It's nice. It's a new experience. We will rest a little bit, but it will never help us to address burnout. So what we really need to do is to create a system, create a daily rhythm that will support our nervous system, our physical body, our mental system, whatever, on a day-to-day basis. So very important principles. Rhythm beats balance, right? So daily rhythm, effort, recovery, effort. For example, 90 minutes of focused work followed by 60 seconds of self-regulation. Only 1 minute, right? At the very beginning, you can start putting a timer on. It can be 90 minutes of focused work. It can be 2 hours focused work. You choose for yourself. But then make sure that you have at least 1 minute of pause, 1 minute of regulation in between those chunks of work. Or for example, if you have back-to-back meetings, you have so many calls, you have so many tasks to do, break those tasks into equal parts and have 5 minutes in between. If you have 3 minutes in between meetings, instead of scrolling phone and instead of just finishing that email or something, right, what we usually do, give yourself 3 minutes of recovery. And you can choose, I will give you a lot of small exercises, small ideas of what you can do, so you can choose and do what works for you at this very moment of time. So create this rhythm, healthy rhythm throughout your working day, but not only working day, also like your family, your life, right? It also works, especially if you're a parent, you have kids at home. So you know that it can be very overwhelming and it requires a lot of focus, a lot of energy, even more than highly stressed work environment. So this is also something that can help building in the rhythm. Having every hour, having 1 minute of regulation, and it should become a system, right? So hope it lands. Oh, okay. I see a comment here. Burnout mainly mentally. I'd say about 7. Mentally because I work mostly remotely, and as you mentioned in your last webinar, remote work comes with the caveat of not knowing when to stay away from the computer. Yes, exactly. I feel you, Felix. Feel you very much. So exactly. So this is for you. The rhythms that I'm talking about for you, right? Remote work is also like, if we are in a office setting, if we have a team, we usually have some breaks, maybe a coffee break, or we talk to someone, so we kind of shift attention from work to something. I'm not saying that coffee break is a good recovery, but still our attention is shifted, so we sometimes it might feel more safe. While we are fully focused and have to manage our own time, it can get even harder. So yeah, same, create systems on a day-to-day basis, and the break, you can use this Pomodoro technique, right? This is something that I use a lot. So when I have an app, Pomodoro, or there are many other apps, I put a timer for 1 hour, and then I work 1 hour really focused, and then I have 5 minutes of a break. I take a break, I stand up. It's very important, especially when we work in front of the computer, to get up and have some movement. So this is very, very, very nice break as well. Or I breathe, or at least, I just go to the balcony or outside if I can for a minute and try to get some sunshine on my face. So it sounds very simple, but it's super effective and it works. So yeah, rhythms. I'm talking about rhythms. Then we're talking about safety, and this is also something that I want to remind you of. We need to regulate ourselves before making any decision, before answering the question. Like, I mean, I'm not saying if it's like an immediate question, right? If you're in a meeting and you have to answer right away, but imagine you have the email that to reply, or you need to make a decision about the next step. Try to do it in a regulated state, right? So try to have a gap of a time, like up to 1 minute, when you support yourself by breathing, by movement, by silent, like little prayer or meditation, just before you make a decision, because we make much better decisions in a regulated state. It's also very applicable to those of you who might be working with other people, who are managing other people, leaders. So it's a lot of communication, a lot of stress. It's just a reminder that it also helps to check in with yourself and make a better decision, give a better answer. And again, micro recovery during the day is what I'm saying, right? Creating these systems on a daily basis that will support you. As ideas can be 5 minutes between meetings. You can stretch, you can walk around the office, around the room, walk outside of the house, even for a minute, and look around, look at the clouds, listen to the birds, right? If the weather is good. Breathe in, small. We will practice it together. Posture, movement, breath matter the most. So physical, embodied activities matter the most, as I said, right? So if you have only 15 minutes break, right? Only 15 minutes break in between working tasks. You can also use it for a deep recovery. You can take a 10-minute nap, right? If you manage to fall asleep, or you can close your eyes and do a meditation or a little prayer, right? Like being present, being there, or you can move. But it's all about working with the body, like, because our nervous system, our physical energy, everything is connected. So it's all about getting back into your body in any way that is available to you now, and supporting your body by movement, by breathing, by being present. It should be short but repetitive, right? Again, as I said, a few breaks throughout the day that are like 1 minute, 2, 3 minutes are much better than one long break, for example. And because we will not take one long break every single day, especially if we have a lot of work, right? We have deadlines and everything. So a few short ones are much better than any long, but which is not on a daily basis, which is, which happens once in a while. And this is also something that I'm reminding you about: clear end of the day shutdown ritual. This is something that I mentioned last time. This is also important, especially if you work from home, right? It's very difficult to, when we're at home, it's difficult to feel that the work is over, right? So we keep on, we might close our computer, switch off computer, close the laptop, whatever, but we're still staying in the same environment where we've been working, and it's very difficult to dissociate from it. So different, to shift focus to other things. So like, I work from home a lot, and I found myself thinking about work tasks, even while I'm cooking dinner, or while I'm putting my kid to bed. So I keep still thinking, oh yeah, I should write this email. Why? Because somewhere in the corner of my room there is my laptop, and every time I pass by I see it, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of mentally getting back to my office, which does not help because I'm never switching off. So for people working with also like not from home, but in a very, very stressful environments, um, for example, last time I think I talked about it, right? People like nurses, for example, or someone who is working with other people and having a lot of impulses all the time, people in a service area, they also need to create this end of the day shutdown ritual, just something that will remind, okay, the work is over, now it's time for a different activity. Now it's time for like a cognitive rest. I'm not thinking about work right now. So this end of the day shutdown ritual can be whatever. You can say something, you can switch up the computer, say the working day is over, right? Say it, speak it out loud, or it can be something else. But just a reminder, especially for those working from home, this might be very effective. Okay. Reading your comments. Personally, it's harder to resume work after taking a short break. I prefer to finish all the work before resting. Yeah, this is the very common, a very common comment that I get, and a very common, I wouldn't say mistake, but it's just the pattern. This is how we are used to think and used to do. So it's also about the I would say it's also about the quality of the break that you take. Like if the break, if the break would be, for example, I don't know, uh, making yourself a cup of coffee, just making a coffee, or eating lunch, or talking to someone, or scrolling the phone. This might kind of um, get in the middle of everything, can mess up all the processes. But the breaks that I'm talking about, they are more structured. And as I said, now I will show you practical tools, right? So those breaks will, in 99, I can't even imagine, I would say like 100% cases, those breaks will not distract you, and they will give you more clarity. They will in general give you more focus. So you should feel better after this break. You should feel better and should feel even more energized and feel focused to get back to work. Maybe it's also sometimes we think about something and we believe what we think so much that it's hard for us to see a different side. So in this case, I would say try it for a week and see if anything changes. And yeah, if it doesn't change, if you still, after like mindful breathing, after 5 minutes of scanning your body, if you still feel that it's hard to get back to work, then that might be something that you need to create a different system for yourself. Then you need to observe your working day and really check, oh, what can I do differently? Maybe it's not once in an hour, maybe it's once in 3 hours, because we are all different and we need to create the system that works for us individually. I hope it's clear. So everything that I'm saying is just ideas to think about and to test and try and adjust, right, for your lifestyle. So I would love to give you some practical ideas that you can test. It will be very nice if you know, by the end of the session, if you choose 1, 2, 3 that you are ready to test already, and then start implementing and see how it changes, how it affects your day-to-day life, how it affects your focus, your energy levels during the day. So the first exercise would be energy mapping, and this is something that I will explain now, and I invite you to do this week, just really as a little experiment, reflect about it. And this is something that I always start my coaching work from, because before we change something, we need to understand actually what's happening with our energy. We need to learn our energy. We need to learn and understand how it works, how it affects us, and who we are, and how we react and act, and when are we the most energized, when we have in dips, right? So then it will give us a lot of foundation to work with and to support ourselves. Like, we will know that, okay, this is the moment when I'm the most drained throughout the day, or these are the tasks that get a lot of my energy, so I can support myself around it. So what I mean here is that there are a few steps. So step 1, create, draw, imagine, envision the timeline of your day, right? So you know yourself, observe your ordinary working day. How do you actually feel? And then just mark when you have a high energy, which moments, right? It's also very different. There are people who are the most effective and the most high on energy early in the morning, some people late at night, some people in the afternoon. So it's very, very individual. You need to understand it about yourself. So mark, when is the energy is high, when the energy is so it's medium, when do you have the lowest moments of energy, right? So ask yourself, like, when do I have the most focus, right? When do I really want coffee, or I want to take a nap, or I don't like anything that I'm doing, when my energy goes down, right? Just deepen down this wave. Now, when am I the most creative, right? When are the tasks? When is the creativity? When do I want to communicate with people? So observe yourself, really mindfully observe yourself, and write these things down. So creating this timeline. Why do we need this? Because we need to map. We have energy levels, and we have tasks, and ordinary working day that we have to do, tasks that we have to perform. Very often we use peak energy moments for really shallow tasks, and all the way around, right? So it's important to track it and maybe change some things, because imagine my example, right? I have the most energy early in the morning, so like just like after the sunrise, and sometimes I manage to work very early before everyone wakes up in my house, and then I'm the most creative, and this is the moment when I should do things that require creativity, that require the most focus. But if I get up and I start replying emails, or doing admin things that I know drain my energy, I don't really like them, I will basically just miss the moment of my highest creativity, of my highest energy, and I will kind of just use it for something that I could have done on a medium energy moment, right? So this is a very powerful exercise, powerful observation that can help us to redesign things that we can redesign, right? So not everything can be changed, right? If we have a meeting and we have to attend the meeting, but sometimes if there are things that are in our control, especially if we work at home or work for ourselves, we can really, by knowing this energy peaks and energy levels, we can maybe switch things around. We can change the order in which we do things, right? And also the moments when we have the lowest energy, we can support ourselves more with practical things, with movement, with breathing, with other practices. So yeah, this is the first thing that I always advise to start with, to observe your working day for a few, I usually say, like, observe it for a few weeks, like really write things down. Okay, I had a work meeting in Zoom. I had a call at this time and I felt very low energy, or why was it that, right? So like even going deeper. So this is a very powerful observation that honestly helps to change so many things, helps to improve so many things. So trust me, I'm really excited about this, because this would be the first one that I would suggest. Any questions, any comments? Oh yeah, Felix, I see your hand.
So, from your last webinar, and maybe a bit into this one, you did mention that stress and burnout, it leads to too much accumulation of cortisol. Is that right?
Yes,
Then,
yes, of course.
okay, I know people, I know some people in some circle say that when men are stressed, men don't need to talk about it. All you need to do is to go to the gym. If you can do
Yeah.
70 kg, if you can do 70 kg, add 75. You can do 75, add 80. It leads to release of testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
They're, they're thinking that testosterone counters cortisol. So that way, men don't actually need to go to maybe like see a shrink or something. They just need to go to the gym and do hard task, get their testosterone, then it relaxes them. Is that true?
Yes, it's partially true. It's partially true. Physical exercise and physical any kind of physical activity helps us regulate hormonal levels, but there are so many details and variables there. So I would never say that just go to gym and don't talk to the therapist, or don't learn to process your emotions, for example, because this works on different levels, right? So physical exercises, gym will help to release something from the body, but it can also be can also do the opposite thing, because depending on how often you work out, at what energy levels you're working out, yeah, it depends how much stress you already have accumulated, what kind of exercises you're doing, because for example, gym, weightlifting is also stress, right? It's a good stress for the body, but it's also a lot of it, a lot of stress. So it all should be regulated, and this regulation starts with awareness, like very deep contact with how do I feel, how does it make me feel. So right, every time you go to gym, you ask yourself afterwards, how do I really feel? Do I feel more relaxed? Do I feel happier? Do I feel more high? Or do I feel even more stressed and tired, right? So there is no, as I always say, there's no like one size fits all. Maybe for some people this will be boxing, right? For other people it will be running, for other people it will be weightlifting, for other people it would be especially like if we're talking about women, right? For women it would be a balance of strength and stretching and slow exercising, right? Something like really more grounded, or maybe slow walk in the nature can be even more effective than high running. But yes, this is very true what you're saying, that release testosterone, it kind of balances cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone that usually stocks, right, always stocks in the body, in the belly area, tummy area. So yes, this is one of the tools that you can use, and as I always say, physical movement, right? I always repeat it, physical movement. Yeah, not even necessarily gym, can also be a walk, can also be a run, but you need to test different things and find what really works for you, not what someone else says, because usually we see like everyone is running, okay, I'm also going to start running, or everyone is doing that. We really need to have the contact with the body. We need to learn to create the contact, so that after we exercise we feel, okay, how do I feel? Does it regulate me? Do I feel more focused now? Do I feel more calm now? Or there is something else that I can try. Did I answer your
Ah,
question?
okay. You've answered my question. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, again, thank you for this question, because it brings me to this next slide, and you see I get like a body map, and it's a little reminder, like pay attention to your body, because there are a lot of you can see um, a lot of symptoms, right? That burnout and prolonged stress might have. You see like a headache, we feel it here, like neck stiffness, shoulder tightness, chest tightness, stomach turning, stomach knots and butterflies and numbness, tingling sensations, everything that you can see on the map. These are all chronic stress and burnout symptoms. But in order to notice all these things, right, or some of them, as I said, we need to create a body-mind connection. We need to create this awareness. And this awareness is created by constantly checking in with our body. And one of the exercises, this the easiest and the most powerful one that I really suggest that you learn and implement and make it your daily practice, is a body scan. What will it do? Not only it will calm you down at the end of the day, but in a few months of continuous, of repetitive practice, you will have a much better contact with your body. You will notice many more symptoms, many more those signals from the body if there is something. I'm not only talking about burnout, but you will notice much more. You will learn to notice when you are really getting tired. You will learn to notice when you are getting into like creative state. So body scan, as simple as it gets. 5 minutes, you can put a timer. 5 minutes, you lay down on your back, you close your eyes, you breathe normally, right? Like breathe deep inhale, deep exhale, and you scan your body. Scan your body starting from the top of your head, right? And you imagine, scanning like this is like top of my head. And some people imagine light going through the body, right? It's easier for them to imagine visually. Like I imagine the light moving from the top of my head, my ears, my forehead, my nose, my jaw, my neck, right? Some people imagine the wave of warmth, or some people just name the parts of the body. It's again up to you. The idea is that for 5 minutes approximately, you are with a lot of attention you're scanning your body, and maybe you will already feel, while scanning, you will already feel some tightness, some stiffness. And while scanning your body, especially if you're laying down, you're relaxing, you are focusing attention on different parts of the body, right? And this makes them relaxed. This is a very, very powerful exercise. And I would say daily, 5 minutes before going to sleep. It's also very beneficial because it will help you to calm down and fall asleep much faster. Very, very effective. So I can't recommend it enough. The easiest way that helps you with time to get a better bodily awareness. And this case also, like when going to gym, when doing any kind of physical exercise or any other breathing exercise, after that you will have more connection and you will actually feel, how does it make me feel, right? So that you will be able to answer this question. What else? Like if I'm saying body scan, this is like a practice that I advise you to do in the evening, because it's the best done when you're laying down, when you're calm, and this will help you to fall asleep. This will teach you to notice the symptoms, notice the signals, because our body is talking to us all the time. We just need to learn to notice. Now I'm going to be talking about breathing. I'll show you a few breathing exercises, and this is something that can be your reset. Remember the systems that I said. Okay, 90 minutes of focused work, or 2 hours of focused work, 1 minute of reset, or back-to-back calls, 2 minutes in between calls. What can I do there, right? So I said you can walk, you can move your body, you can stand up, you can do a few jumps, you can stretch a little bit while you're sitting in the chair. Important to activate the body, especially if you're working with your head, right? A lot of focus. Activate your body. On the opposite, like on the contrary, if the person has a lot of physical work, so not cognitive, not working at the computer, for example, but doing things with hands, in this case, the rest would be not activating the body as much, but mostly activating the mind. In this case, a very productive rest would be to sit down for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, and maybe visualize something, close the eyes and focus on breathing and imagine something, right? Or visualize a good day, or visualize a good feeling in the body. Just activate the creativity, activating different parts of the brain. Does it make sense, right? So I'm just explaining the difference between rest and recovery. Okay. I've been doing the 4-4-4 breathing since the last session. It's helpful. Yeah, good. I'm glad that, yeah, you feel the effects already. So yeah, breathing. I can talk for hours about it because it's one of the, it's called a very powerful medicine. It's really a medicine. This is really something when really activated, when we learn to work with it, we can support ourselves on so many levels. It's very, very, very powerful. There are hundreds techniques, different styles, different ways, different purposes that we can use the breath for. But today I'm only stopping on 3 very simple techniques that the goal of which is to activate parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our relaxation and calming down our nervous system, regulation, because this is what we need when we are, on the edge of burnout, we have stressful job or a lot of work or any kind of stress in general. The background noise, the situation in the world, everything creates so much stress to us that we don't need to have a stressful job in order to be stressed, right? So this is very universal, very helpful. 3 simple exercises, again, that you can do throughout the day. Choose which one you like, choose which one works for you, notice what it does to your body. Very, very powerful. The first one is psychological sigh. I will just show you how it works, and you can try if you want. You do it 3 times. So basically, 1 long inhale and followed by a very short inhale, and then a long exhale. So look at me. The exhale should be longer than the inhale. So inhale is very powerful, like so you inhale through the nose, you exhale through the mouth, at least 3 times. And if you can do 10 times, it's even better. I guarantee you will feel more energy, more focus, but at the same time, you will be more calm. See, now I even started speaking a bit slower. So I regulated myself a little bit. Very, very, very powerful. You can do it anytime, especially if you're stressed, if you're feeling that you're getting some anxiety and stress, just do it. Start with this one before you continue with everything else. 4-6 breathing. Essentially, it's 4 seconds for the inhale and 6 seconds for the exhale. When we are trying to regulate, to calm ourselves down, we need to make sure that our exhale is a bit longer than the inhale. So longer exhale activates the part of our brain that is responsible for relaxation. So in any way, even just a simple breathe in and breathe out, but which is longer, will be a very good one. And 4-4-4-4 breathing, or like square breathing, it's also very nice to bring focus, to bring clarity, to bring relaxation. So 4 counts inhale, 4 counts pause before inhale, exhale, 4 counts exhale, 4 counts pause. So basically imagining the square, like 4, pause, exhale, pause. It's also very powerful to fall asleep. If you ever have trouble sleeping, do this exercise as well. It will, I guarantee you will fall asleep much faster, much easier. So square breathing. Body scan, I already described, right? Safety cues, I talked about it last time as well. The moments when you feel a lot of stress, you feel a lot of anxiety coming, what we need to do, we need to get back to our body. So, right, we need to get out of head, we need to get to the body. So butterfly, I showed it last time. So very easy. You cross your hands like this, the palms of your hands go on the shoulders, you breathe normally, and you do this movement, butterfly. This is a signal to our brain. It's like, you're fine, you're okay, you're here, you're safe. You're safe, you're fine, you're okay. Very powerful. Shoulder release. So most of the stress at the very beginning we accumulate in this area in our shoulders. So also very powerful exercise showing you, demonstrating. So we get our shoulders higher to our ears like this. Keep it for 2 seconds. Down, like really with effort. So like on the inhale, then down on the exhale. Like on the inhale, keep for 3 seconds, down on the exhale, and repeat it a few times. So like it releases, like you shake off the stress from your shoulders. It also gives a good sign to the signal to the brain that you're good, you're safe. And grounded feet also brings awareness to the body. You're sitting on a chair and you put your feet on the ground, so your feet should touch the ground, and all you have to do is focus your attention to your feet. Like really close your eyes or just feel the ground beneath your feet and feel the sensation. You can move your toes a little bit, right? You feel the texture. So feel the sensation like you are being held. Just imagine like you have support. You are being held by the floor, by the ground. So very, very, very effective. Just spend 30 seconds focusing there, feeling your feet on the ground. Very, very, very effective exercise. So as you see, these are very short things, but they are super effective. And if you do it repeatedly, if you do it consistently, you can choose whatever works for you, whatever you like, whatever you want to try. I'm sure that you will feel a very big difference in your stress levels throughout the day. So again, breathing, movement, slowing down, small body scan. Body scan is like a meditation. 1 minute meditation or prayer, right? So closing your eyes and being present, staying in your body. It can be any kind of mindfulness, any kind of prayer practice, just being there in the moment, switching away, shutting down, shutting your brain down from tasks that you have to do and things that are still waiting for you. So it all helps us to pay attention to the body. Any questions at this stage before I move to one of the last slides? No questions. Okay, that's good. Was everything clear? The exercises, the breathing techniques, something that you can try? Was it all? Yeah. Oh, you can always.
Yes, it was clear. As you were speaking, I was doing them, and at first I was like, "Oh, I don't feel anything." Now it's like, okay, I feel lighter. So yeah.
Yeah. And again, we usually, especially we've never tried, we've never done it consistently. The first thoughts will be, I know this how it will be. Oh, it's weird, or no, it can't be that easy. What are you talking? Yeah, like 3 minutes breathing. What can it do? What change can it do? The more we try, the more we practice, we will learn to notice the effects. Especially if we don't have much contact usually, right? We were not taught, as in general, we were not taught, and we are not taught. We are very disconnected in the world that we live in, with the AI, with phones, with so many impulses. We are very disconnected from our bodies, and at the very beginning it's hard to notice any effect. So that's why I'm saying, like, really make it a challenge for yourself, just as an experiment, right? We are talking as designers, make it as an experiment for yourself, test it for some time, for a month, for a few months, and try to see the difference, because there is definitely the difference, the effect. I can talk for a long time what happens, right? I can show you what is happening in our brain when we breathe, how it changes our reactions, and it's fascinating. And if you're even interested, you can even YouTube it and find a lot of it's called a neural response, how our brain responds to different kinds of practices and things, and it's fascinating. So it's proven, it's working. What we have to do is break through our own thinking patterns and beliefs about ourselves, and just do it and teach ourselves to do it, and then we will definitely feel the effect. It might not come straight away, but it is very, very, very effective. So we talked about physical energy. We talked about nervous system regulation, about creating the system, right? Those short, small breaks throughout the day, like self-support. But before I finish, I just want to remind you that, as I always repeat, right? This is like the easy part. The hard part is actually the protecting the energy with boundaries and alignment, because this is where we use a lot of energy, but we don't notice it, right? We think that our energy goes on thinking, making decisions, focusing, working physically, right? If we are doing physical work. So yes, it's very obvious. This is where we use the energy, but we also use a lot of energy for saying, for example, as I said here, every yes in our calendar costs something, right? So like saying yes when we actually don't want to, right? I'm not talking about work tasks that, yeah, we might not like them, but we still have to do them because it's part of our work. But sometimes, even going out for drinks, or having a lot of social activities after work, because it's good to do. I need to catch up with my friends, or i need to I need to watch this video for my work because it's very important, or I need to say yes to this and that. It's something that might not be essential, but we still agree to. It's also about boundaries. We also use a lot of energy there. It can also be it can be anything, actually. It can be, small talks with colleagues that we don't really, they don't make any difference, but we still do it because it's like socially appropriate. So many things. It's also about, as I said last time, it's also about finding purpose and meaning in what I do, right? Knowing why I'm doing this. And if my work does not provide me with my sense of meaning, then I should find this sense of meaning in other things around work, so that I will be able to heal, to kind of feed this void, right? So just to practice something that is important for me. This is very important, because we get energy from doing things that are meaningful for us, right? So I'm talking about draining and giving away energy, but we also get energy. So this is just a reminder, a few questions that I also invite you to think about in your work day, in your daily life, and just be aware about it. What drains me? What takes away the most of my energy? What gives me energy? What gives me energy? What makes me feel meaning in this life? What can I change here, right? What can I do more? What can I do less? How can I redesign things around my life so that it will be supportive, not draining? Okay, I'm reading your comments. In today's world, AI is everywhere. Are there any bespoke psychological AI platforms you'd recommend for managing burnout and stress? Asking against a backdrop of privacy concerns with the data would be sharing with the given AI platforms. Yeah, thank you for the question. I don't really know. I have not explored myself what's happening in the market. I know that there are a lot of things happening. I was at the Web Summit, the biggest tech conference in Europe a few months ago, and it was fully dedicated to AI. And I saw a lot of tech startups building things around mental health. So yeah, I made notes, but I haven't had time to really explore and see what they're doing. But I'm sure there are so many things that are supportive. I can only say that there is a benefit from it, and there is also a risk, because even ChatGPT, right? Even the easiest, the most common thing, like ChatGPT can be a good coach, psychologist in a way, right? It can support, it can give advice, it can answer questions. So I would say on the very like first levels, it can be supportive to talk, to ask questions, to understand yourself a little bit better, maybe get some advice. But when it comes to deeper levels of work, of kind of healing, there is a big risk, because AI can never do the same as a human can do, and I'm afraid that AI might even be harmful in a ways, because it's still very generic. It will never be able to know your exact situation and give you very personalized advice and support. And yeah, and there are also privacy concerns as well. So yeah, I don't know how, we don't really know how the data is stored, how it's used. So how much of, how open can we be and should we be? This is a question that I unfortunately don't have the answer to at I would say that. But AI can be very supportive, and you reminded me that yeah, actually I need to get back to that research and see what AI agents, what startups are actually being built around mental health, because mental health is a very big topic nowadays, right? Because it's what's happening with people, what's happening with in the world is very alarming. So there's definitely a lot of work happening with AI as well. So I know only about one startup that is being launched next month, and it's going to be AI agent supporting mothers at the postpartum journey. So with managing their stress, managing their postpartum anxiety, depression, but it will be supported by real psychologists. So basically, this will be kind of an app where, for example, a mother is awake at night feeding a child and she's feeling really stressed, and then she can't call anyone at night, not even a friend, but she can talk to this AI agent and get some support, some maybe some tips, some breathing exercise, whatever, to calm down or to fall asleep or to manage anxiety. And then it will be followed by a real person investigating her case and supporting her. So this is, yeah, I went way too far um in my thinking at this stage. So okay, and we've got to the end of this presentation, and it's just a little reminder that energy is renewable if it's managed smartly. So all we have to do is to learn to create a system, the rhythm that will create a sustainability for us, that will create this smart management of our energy. And then hopefully we will avoid getting into a burnout stage or adapting to burnout as well. So again, creating systems, creating rhythms that work for yourselves, the daily basis, small actions every single day, a few times, repetitive, and working on body, mind, connection, working on this contact with the body. That's because the body is very intelligent and gives us a lot of hints, gives us a lot of information. We just need to learn to listen to it. Yeah, sounds like a great idea for moms. Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is all from my side today. My question would be, what small change are you ready to make? Is there anything that maybe sparked your interest, something that you would love to try, you would love to test? Share with me if you want, or if not, just make this decision for yourself, commit to it, and try. But if you have any questions, please, the stage is yours. If not, thank you very much for your time again. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this was valuable, and I wish you a very joyful journey ahead and a work life just without burnout, without exhausting the nervous system, with a lot of self-compassion and self-support.
Thank you so much, Tanya. This was really helpful. I think personally, I've never really done the body scan. Usually, if you're feeling some sort of way, you go to the hospital. But so if you try, you could catch it before you need to go to the hospital. So that's one thing I think I'm going to try for myself. And
Yeah,
yeah, I'll just keep doing the breathing exercises. And that I tried the butterfly thing just like while you were speaking. I was like, okay, you're doing so. I'll just keep, since from your previous session, it's the little things they build up, they count. So
absolutely.
doing those things, yeah. So this
Exactly.
was really great. And that's AI agent for moms. I think it will actually work for anyone. If you need to talk in the middle of the night and you can't call someone, you just seek encouragement. So we'll be looking for that.
Yes, exactly. That's we just need to learn to use it smartly, and again, as I say, check in with
Of course.
ourselves. Yes, because like Felix said, right? Like, yeah, I just need to go to gym. And this, yes, this, as I said, partially true. Physical exercises, all kind of physical movement helps us to shake off, right? Shake off the stress. There are even, by the way, there are even special exercises when you just, for 5 minutes, you're shaking your body, you're shaking your hands, your legs, right? So basically doing this, it helps to release stress, very effective. I do it myself. I like it every now and then. But this is, again, it's very personal. It might work for me, but might not work for you. Same as gym, same as anything else. But and AI will give more generalized suggestion. That's why, I'm saying, like, find. I give you 3 different breathing exercises, but if you Google them, you can find 100 more, or ask ChatGPT. Find what will work for you. Find what will really give you the feeling of calmness and grounded, right? So that's why this is something that AI cannot do for us. We have to do it ourselves. And in order to do it
Of
ourselves, we need to have the connection with the body. We need to feel, right, what the body is, the feedback from the body. That's why body scan is very effective. I'm glad that you're ready to try and do it.
Okay, so and you are correct. Actually, there's a limit to what AI can do for us. If we don't help ourselves, there's really nothing anybody else can do for us. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you so much. This was great, and I cannot wait to see you again next month.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you next month.
Yeah, thank you
All
very much.
right,
It
so
was
enjoy the rest of your day,
You too. Have a very good rest of the week.
and you too. Thank you, and speedy recovery once more.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.
bye.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day.